But in this unforgiving wilderness, some secrets refused to stay buried, drifting to the surface with the tide of suspicion and fear. Vance was gone, vanished into the thin, frozen air, and the town needed someone to blame for the void he left behind.
The case fell to a man who understood the town's fractures better than anyone, a man burdened by its long, troubled history.
Old grievances were about to be weaponized, and the lines of conflict were being drawn in the starkest terms imaginable.
He was a man who lived by the old ways, on land his ancestors had known for centuries, long before the town even had a name.
Thorn had no choice but to bring him in, to play his part in a script that felt like it had been written long ago.
But evidence, no matter how small, has a voice of its own. A forensics team had found something near Vance's abandoned boat. To the town, this wasn't just a clue. It was a confession, carved in wood, confirming their deepest and darkest prejudices. Thorn, however, was digging deeper, not into rumors, but into history. He found the root of the conflict in the county archives.
The motive seemed clear. The town's verdict was in, long before any trial could begin. The pressure on Thorn was immense.
Something about the official story felt wrong. A detail was missing. He returned to the only witness that couldn't lie, the boat. And then he found it. A part of the deck that wasn't quite right. A space that shouldn't have been there on a boat like this.
The content rewrite the entire story.
Thorn's mind raced, piecing together fragments of old rumors. He remembered another name frequently tied to Vance, but not Kalen's. Lure, the land dispute, it was all a smokescreen. A perfect way to send the investigation down the wrong path, using the town's own prejudice.
There was only one place the partner would be. One last piece of evidence to destroy before he could vanish, just like Vance.
It was over. The man knew it. But his final act wasn't one of violence against the detective, but of desperation.
In that moment, he sealed his own fate, confessing everything with a single, desperate act of destruction that ultimately failed.
He then planted Kalen's lure, a lure he'd stolen weeks before, knowing the town's prejudice would do the rest of the work for him.
An innocent man was cleared. But in a town like Port Coldwater, innocence is not always enough to wash away the stain of suspicion. Thorn had found the truth, but he hadn't fixed the town. He had only exposed how quickly people would believe a lie that fit their narrative.